What if one day you woke up convinced you were dead? No, this isn't a scene from a horror movie. This is Cotard's delusion, one of the rarest, most chilling psychological disorders ever discovered. Today, we dive into the dark, twisted world of the human mind, where the line between life and death blurs into a terrifying reality. A reality so strange it has baffled scientists, haunted neurologists, and even led to one of the most controversial experiments in history. Imagine feeling nothing. No hunger, no thirst, no need for sleep, because in your mind, you no longer exist. Some even insist their organs are rotting, that their body is hollow, or that they've been cursed into an eternal undead existence. This is the world of Cotard's delusion, a world where the living believe they are dead. Let me take you back to the 1990s, to a small town in Scotland. This is where our story begins, with a man named Graham. Graham was an ordinary man living an ordinary life, until one fateful day. After a failed suicide attempt, something inside him changed. Something broke. Graham woke up convinced he was already dead. He stopped eating, he stopped speaking. He even begged doctors to take him to a morgue, because in his mind, that's where he belonged. "I'm dead," he would say. "My brain is gone, my body is hollow, there's no point in feeding a corpse." But here's the twist. Brain scans revealed something shocking. Graham's brain activity was almost non-existent, resembling someone in a coma or under deep anesthesia. Yet he was awake. He was breathing. He was speaking. How is this even possible? How can a man be so convinced of his own death while his body continues to function? This is the enigma of Cotard's delusion, a condition so rare it feels like it belongs in the pages of a horror novel. But for Graham, and others like him, it's a daily reality, a nightmare they can't wake up from. To understand Cotard's delusion, we must travel back in time, to the year 1880. This is where our story takes a darker turn. It was here, in a small Parisian hospital, that French neurologist Jules Cotard first encountered a woman known only as Mademoiselle X. Mademoiselle X was unlike any patient Cotard had ever seen. She was convinced she had no brain, no nerves, and no soul. "I am already dead," she would whisper. "There is no point in feeding a corpse." Cotard was fascinated and horrified. He documented her case in detail, coining the term Cotard's delusion to describe this bizarre condition. But the story doesn't end there. Tragically, Mademoiselle X refused to eat, believing she was already a corpse. She starved to death, becoming the very thing she feared. This case sparked one of the most controversial experiments in history. Cotard began to question the nature of consciousness itself. What makes us feel alive? And what happens when that feeling is lost? Modern neuroscience has shed some light on this terrifying condition. Cotard's delusion is linked to damage in the brain's recognition system. Specifically, it affects two key areas: the fusiform gyrus, responsible for facial recognition, and the amygdala, which processes emotions. When these areas are damaged, the brain can no longer connect the feeling of being alive to one's physical existence. In simpler terms, your brain can trick you into believing you're dead, even while your body functions perfectly. But here's the real question. If your brain can make you believe you're dead, then what truly defines life? Is it just electrical signals? Or is there something more? Something intangible? Cotard's delusion isn't just a rare disorder, it's a window into the mystery of human consciousness. It forces us to ask, how much of our reality is shaped by our brains? And what happens when that reality shatters? If this blew your mind, hit the like button and let me know in the comments. Could you ever imagine waking up and believing you're dead? And don't forget to subscribe, because next time we're diving into another psychological phenomenon that will leave you questioning everything you know about yourself. Remember, the mind is the most powerful and sometimes the most terrifying thing in the universe. Stay curious, but be careful what you wish to uncover.